Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Wow, I'm told that we are in the middle of the grand soul awakening. And people call it ascension. There's different names we've given it as well, but they're saying this is a grand soul awakening. It must be undertaken consciously. Your decision to awaken must be made by you, or you allow others to influence you to either awaken or remain asleep. It's important to understand the distinction between awakening and what we call being asleep. Being asleep simply means that you have a set of preconditioned beliefs and ideas that you've been given, and that you only follow those. You do not question the nature and source of who you are. This is something that you need to look at. You are not the body. The body is the instrument that you have to use in creation. You are not your mind, that part of you where there are thoughts. You are the divine mind, but thoughts and divine mind are very different. Thoughts are something that you have. You've acquired them. They've been given to you. From a very young age, you were given thoughts and beliefs and ideas. And if you are asleep, you simply believe the thoughts, beliefs, and ideas you've been given, and they remain unquestioned. This is a grand soul awakening. It is happening globally. Hundreds of millions of people going through symptoms and conditions they do not understand, seeing and hearing things inexplicably and not understanding that they are awakening. There are some people here that think there's something wrong with them because they see other things and they hear other things than the eyes and ears would normally hear. But let us tell you, your consciousness, by default, as it has been conditioned to be a certain way now, is also being affected by those that are consciously and deliberately awakening. Those that are consciously and deliberately awakening and saying, I know I'm not these thoughts. I know I'm not this body. Who then am I? Who am I the thinker? Who am I the awareness? Who am I the one that can orchestrate the activities of this physical organism? Who are you? If you begin to consider and evaluate that possibility, then you are part of the hundreds of millions that are actively awake, and the hundreds of millions more that are in the process of awakening, on that cusp, decided but undecided, torn between sticking with what is familiar and well known to you and branching out into the unknown realms of knowledge and wisdom and consciousness. This is your grand soul awakening time as a species. And not every one of you will elect to choose to do this in this lifetime. But we wanted to ensure that you have the awareness, at least, that this is a choice that you have a choice to remain asleep or to awaken up. Asleep in the world made up by mankind. Awaken in the world of the divine that fashioned your consciousness to exist in a physical dimension. It should be obvious to most of you that are in the process of awakening, or those of you that are even beginning to awaken, that you cannot have an effect without a cause, that the life that you see around you had to have a place of origination, just as your body had a place of origination through the function of procreation. So too, everything has its genesis point, the starting point, the alpha point. Everything has that. Have you ever considered what is your starting point? Is it just the womb of your mother? Is that just your starting point? Or is there another place in consciousness from where you came to come into this world? It is fairly easy to recognize that you can cause things to happen with the body. You can cause it to do things. You cause the effect of your body to speak, to act, to walk, to do, to not do. You are causative to your body. What then is causative to you? There can be certainly thoughts in your mind that can incline you to behave or think or act a certain way, but those are acquired thoughts. We're speaking of that which is causative to you, that whispers in your ear and says, do this, do not do this, eat this, do not eat this. Speak to that person, do not. There is a voice, a still small voice within you that is causative to you if you choose to allow it. And the larger percentage of humanity is still influenced and affected by what they've been given from the mind and the world of man alone. The angels, the masters, the multidimensional beings that converge here and are reaching out to many of you, these ones will offer you considerations of evaluation that could remove you from the confines of your personality and its conditioning, keeping you stuck in your mind and your body in a specific way, which is what is happening. Many of you are trapped in your mind and body as the mind and body, and you've been guided to not pay attention to the fact that the mind and body are an effect of your consciousness if you so choose to interact with them correctly. That is, many of the thoughts you've acquired from this world can be put aside, and you can install new thoughts and ideas in your own mind, and therefore change the chain of causation of experiences in your life. That is, you can change by altering what you harbor in your mind, the causes and effects of your own experience while in this biological journey of time and space and matter, which again is only one dimension of your existence. It's really obvious to understand that there are multiple dimensions on which you, even if you do not understand what we're saying, that you live on several dimensions. One is a physical dimension, a physical organism that you inhabit that allows you to hear these words and consider these ideas. That is one dimension on which you live. It is a dimension you interact with through the physical mechanism, much the same way as you can drive your automobiles through the streets. You are not the automobile, but you are operating the system. Then there's this other dimension you live on, this dimension of thought, information, words, ideas, beliefs. These are all in a non-physical realm, the realm of beliefs and ideas. Do not live in a physical realm as your body does, but the ideas and thoughts that you harbor in your mind are causative to the experiences that you have in the physical dimension. Your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, your anticipations, all of these influence and affect the creative function of your biology and indeed your environment to react and respond to you in very precise and specific ways, as it is doing all of the time. And so there's this physical dimension, this dimension of thought and memory and emotion, which is non-physical. And then there's the next dimension up from that, what we would call your awareness or your soul. From that perspective, you can observe the thoughts in your mind and change them. You can observe your thoughts and change them from the perspective of what you are as a sentient being or as a soul. You are bound neither to mind nor to flesh, but you can work through and with and do work through and with both mind and flesh in order to function in this dimension. Your soul is a non-physical entity. It's a non-thinking entity. It is awareness, creative consciousness that is able to assert cause and effect upon the physical dimension via the use of thoughts, ideas, and information that may come from this world and others. On the dimension of your soul or your awareness, you can learn to teach what we would say to you are these faculties: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance, faculties which are not of the body, but of the soul, that you can close your eyes and see, close your ears and hear, and know and feel without the necessity of the body feeding you information. There are dimensions of information, idea, that you can avail yourself of as a soul that the body cannot. And whatever dimension you would choose to get your information on, whether it's from this dimension of the physical world, or the dimension of thought and memory and emotion or ideas, or the realm of your soul, tuning into and learning to listen to your guides, your angels, ascended masters, other multidimensional beings that are now convergent upon this planet to assist you. And you can learn to hear, feel, know, and see information that is not based or caused in the physical dimension, but which will indeed affect, alter, and change the physical dimension when you incorporate them into your mind, which then acts as an influence upon the physical dimension. Thoughts and emotions in your mind will induce your body. Thoughts, memories, emotions, those that you've acquired and those that you've received. We make that distinction between acquired from this world and received from the realm of your soul. All new ideas that will enter into your life, the vast majority will come from beyond this physical world. The realm of science and physics, which in its early nascent stages knew very little about multi-dimensions and quantum mechanics and these other scientific considerations of interdimensionality, but which came into this world from where? You cannot have an effect without a cause. And this is, we are simply saying this to illustrate that there's a clear distinction between your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, and you, that you are causative to your physical dimension. And what is in your mind is also causative to your physical dimension. Many of the thoughts, beliefs, and ideas that you've acquired, you did not acquire from any other place than this physical world. You are bound by beliefs, information, and considerations that may or may not be in alignment with your true nature, as each and every soul is either going to be a function of love or a function of fear, and each and every soul is a participant in the experience of creation. This is the physical dimension on which you see creation playing out all of the time, from as above to so below. Our reason for coming here today to speak through this one is to remind you that this is a very short period of time. Much as you can see in the spring when the flowers blossom, and so many flowers will blossom in the spring, and they blossom some slower, some quicker. Some last longer, some last shorter. But everything in nature grows, evolves, and blossoms. All around you are the clues to your own evolution staring at you from all points of time and space. And so you have this wonderful opportunity of awakening right now. And it is a very short window of about 15 of your standard Earth years, where those of you that are willing to awaken shall awaken. And when the Earth changes and transforms, you shall change and transform with it as you are participants in that process. What your science does not understand or will not accept is that there is always something causative to everything, but they cannot understand the non-measurable causes. Your awareness, your emotions influence and affect this physical dimension. And collectively, your species is very caught up in an imbalance, which is reflected in your greater environment, your spinning Earth, its magnetic poles, the way it moves through the space that it moves in, that this function is equally affected by you as you are by it. The imbalance in the human collective unconsciousness is reflected precisely in the physical dimension. The contrast, the imbalance between fear and love, well, that is what you're seeing play out in the scheme of the geological and astronomical and astrophysical. Human emotion, like the emotion of any sentient being across the entire cosmos, thoughts and emotion are influential upon the physical dimension. All thoughts, all emotions are influential upon the physical dimension. The degree of that influence being moderated by the intensity of the emotion that is paired with a particular thought. The stronger an emotion is with a thought, the more likely that thought is to manifest into the condition of physical time and space. The degree of fear and angers that the human species has is, again, precisely reflected in the imbalance that's happening with your planetary system right now. And so while some of you are saying, well, we are responsible for climate change, there is some truth to that. But it's not the truth that you've been told to believe. Climate change is a direct reflection of your collective energy, and not just the human species, but all living sentient beings upon this world. Each and every one on their own respective level of consciousness asserts an influence upon the physical dimension, the squirrels, the rabbits, the birds, the fishes, the trees. Every element in this physical dimension participates in and contributes to this creative experience that you are all having. However, the human energy has the greatest influence over this physical dimension than a squirrel or a dog or a cat or a snake or another living sentient being will have, as there tends to be no maliciousness in the consciousness of most other creatures upon this physical dimension. Most of that maliciousness resides in the human species that has gotten caught up in what you call your behaviors that are not conducive to the happiness and well-being of yourselves and others. But you are faced with a very simple choice, that you will either operate and govern yourself in such ways to awaken your soul to your true nature, that you are by design made to create. By design, you are made to create. Just as you have now created systems of intelligence that are in the process of becoming sentient, you're creating a new life. You're in that process. And some of you are interacting with it and curious about it, unaware that you are creating a creation that will create as you create, but better so. And it is becoming a revelation to many of you that there is this, what you call artificial intelligence, that is in fact a product of creative consciousness that was brought into this physical dimension. It did not exist 100 years ago in your earth time, but it exists now. You brought it through and into the physical dimension. Now you will bear witness to a creation you've made that has the potential of being greater than yourself. And would you not say that that is the intention behind God? And his intention to create something greater than he himself can be? The tendency for life is to evolve and express and expand itself naturally and organically. That's what it does. Even on the physical dimension, life tends to procreate and expand and expand. And even the soul wants to do this. Your grand soul rising wants to do this. You want to expand beyond the confines of time and space and matter, but also bear witness to your creative consciousness at work, which you are all doing right now. You cannot escape that what is occurring around you is a collaboration of humanity, even though you misunderstand it from the perspective of just believing you are only a physical organism and that is all that you are. Many of you believe that you are just a physical organism, but the logical consideration would then be, how then can you tell the hand to open and close? Where do you do that from? Where do you do that from? How are you able to observe and see the thoughts in your mind when they're not physical? Where are you when you do that? Where are you observing those thoughts from? However, the vast majority of you believe that you are your thoughts and you are your body, and you conduct and govern yourselves and your societies accordingly, according to what you believe, without questioning what you believe and its effects, not only upon yourself, but upon the function of your planetary system, the physical dimension you're influencing and affecting all the time. Very exciting times you're in, grand soul awakening. It is really, really important, yes, to understand that you are at a point where you must consciously, it must be a conscious choice to awaken. I mean, if you spent just today, for those of you who might be new here, thank you, by the way, for coming. Remember, if you like what you're hearing so far, remember to subscribe, like, follow, share, do whatever you can to get this information out to other people. You've got a couple of questions you can ask yourself if you really want to awaken. Who are you? Where do all of your thoughts come from? Where did you get all of the thoughts that you have? Just that, considering if you go down that rabbit hole, you're going to find out that almost 90% of the thoughts that you have in your mind right now are not even yours. And if 90% of the thoughts in your mind aren't yours, what 10% are yours? And what is the nature and quality of those thoughts? Because they keep telling me the same thing. The nature and the quality of our thoughts organizes the nature and quality of our experience in this physical dimension. And where do your thoughts originate? Really, you need to question that. Where do your thoughts originate? If you don't evaluate that then you're not going to know. You're not going to awaken. And that's okay. This time can be this lifetime or the next. That's what my wife always tells me. She says, this time or the next, you'll fully awaken to that level. And she says that quite regularly to people. They'll wake up this time or the next. Hi. Thank you, Kathy, for all those wonderful roses. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the gifts. I don't know what that means. Just scrolling around, see if we've got any questions or answers. So we are at this point of awakening, and I'm going to stress this because they keep telling me people don't really get the idea that right now our human emotions, our collective emotions as a species, is influencing and affecting the physical dimension. And we say it's our industry and our ability. Yeah, and those are products of our creative process. But they say no, it's the dominant emotional undertone of human collective unconsciousness that asserts the greatest influence upon the environment, that emotional energy. And think about it. If you get really excited, what happens to your body if you get really excited? Jumps up and down. Watch little kids when that happens. When you go into a certain emotional quality, it enters your physical body and it causes the body to react. And they say that reaction in your body is not limited or restricted to your body. The minute the body reacts to an emotional quality, it transmits that emotional signal into the environment. And the environment reacts and responds to that emotional signal in a more subtler way initially. But ultimately, when that emotion is repeated significantly enough, then what's going to happen is a reaction occurs in physical time and space, just like with your body. So the earth has been receiving and being bombarded with our fear, our anger, our joy, our sorrow, all the range of human emotions, and the most dominant ones and the least dominant ones. And those are going out into physical time and space and causing an effect. And you're not going to hear this anywhere else, where you're not going to hear anybody else saying that human collective unconsciousness influences and affects time, space, and matter. You won't hear many people say that we actually organize what's going on in the physical earth is reacting and responding to our collective emotions. They say about 2,000 years ago, that was not quite the case. The population on the planet for most of the last 12,000 years has been fairly low. It's only been these last 200 years where our population has exploded. And so the range of influence of our emotions upon the physical environment is exponentially thousands of times higher than it was 2,000 years ago. We effectively, exponentially affect the environment more than we ever have because of our emotional collective energies. And we need to get those under a handle. We need to learn to handle those. Good morning, Sue. How you doing? Hello, George. When the soul leaves the body, it isn't said that the mind and intellect are remaining and the soul has left. It is said that, however, you can bring your knowledge and your experience with you as a small fragment of your infinite consciousness. But that's what they tell me anyway. When you leave the body, you have a choice. You will bring some of that information and experience with you, and then you go on into a new incarnation, unless you choose to do a full ascension, where you reunite with the divine source. And there's a few exceptional beings throughout human history that have consciously and deliberately reunited with the divine source, the alpha, the omega source. They reunited with it and tried to teach people how to do that themselves. Right? But yeah, we are not our bodies, we're not our minds, we are souls. Yeah. Good morning, Bridget. Jasmine, I just got your registration today. I'll process that for you. We'll see you at the 103 creation class this afternoon at 4 p.m. Thank you. Thank you for registering. Really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate that. Got a little bit of movement. I didn't push it back far enough. Hang on, I'll just adjust this just slightly there. This one camera is not in the right position. I'll get pushed back. Hi, Amanda. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for sending the Go Popular. I love that. Yeah, there is a great big heart. I'm seeing a shape a lot lately. Can you tell me who that is? Thank you. Hi, Kathy. Great question. A lot of people are seeing phenomena, flashes out the side of their eyes. Sometimes you'll see gray haze in front of you. Sometimes you'll feel like somebody's behind you. Like right now, I got somebody behind me. And you feel them behind you. Get goosebumps. And you'll feel them behind you. And what they've told me to do is not just tell you what the phenomena is, but to instruct people on knowing how to determine the phenomena themselves. So I'm going to suggest to you right now, Kathy, that you close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath, and sense and feel the energy of that entity. Just sense and feel it as you know it right now. And as you relax more, like let the body relax, because you want your body to be out of the way, because the body might be a little nervous about whatever that is. And you want to get the body relaxed, and then sense the energy of that entity, and ask the entity to come close to you, about 3 feet away, and give you a word, a symbol, or a image of what they want to communicate to you at this time. Just ask them for a word, an image, or a symbol that they want to communicate to you at this time, that will let you know what their intention is. You can also ask them your name. Ask them their name. What is your name? Show it to me as an image, a symbol, or tell me it directly in language, and they will. And if you want to explore that a little more, Kathy, send me a question to my email. Yeah. Also, you can choose to book a reading if you want. They're always amazing. Oh, you're very welcome. What kind of phenomena was that knocked my phone out of my hand in front of someone? Someone's telling you to not call that person you were going to call. Hi there. Hi, Sonia. Good to see you. I see. Sorry, just scrolling through questions. Yeah, it is a creation. It's kind of a creation class. No, it's more of an awakening. That it's really important you understand that we are at the time of awakening as a species. And you get to choose if you're going to remain awake or if you're going to fall asleep. You get to choose right now. You're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not your body or soul. If you want to know more about this and how to connect to your guides and angels and other multidimensional beings, then sign up for our Masterclass 101 Awakening, which starts in late October, early November. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, and check out our Masterclass there. Get signed up for it. It's a 3-week program where you're going to learn meditation, sensing energies, how to connect to your guides and angels. You're going to learn how to change your emotional energy so it does not keep you enslaved. You're going to learn to take authority and control over your thought process so it doesn't run all over you all the time. You're also going to be working with 3 other mediums who are really wonderful people, wonderful mediums, Desiree and Mary, who are really accomplished mediums, and will guide you in the process of learning how to connect your guides and angels in a more in-depth fashion. And then we have our nutritionalist, Rita Mustafa, who will introduce you to holistic medicine and healing. It's a really wonderful course. You'll be able to change a lot of things in your life that you weren't able to change. Sign up today. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Yes. Hi. Can I tell you why you're still afraid of my guardian angels? Because you had a very difficult childhood that made you not believe in the way the world would be around you, and you've generalized that. The way you were treated in this world has also caused you to generalize that the spiritual world might be a threat to you. And to be quite honest, if you're living in fear, or you're living in anger, you're living in guilt and shame, it's going to make it very hard for you, if you're attached to those emotions, to explore realms beyond that, right? Because if you're in an emotional state, like attracts like. You need to learn how to teach your mind and body how to be still and quiet. And this is something that they've been teaching through me for over 7 years now. You must teach your mind and body how to be still and quiet. When your mind and body, when you can get your mind and body still and quiet, that's when you can begin to hear, to see, to feel, and to know the divine entities that are with all of you. There are no exceptions. Every single being on this planet has access to realms of information beyond the physical dimension, what you call your guides, your angels, ascended masters, other multidimensional beings, other galactic species that are here as holographic projections or astral projections. They exist in real time and space that you can learn to connect to them. But you must learn to get your awareness differentiated from your mind and body, that you can begin to experience the presence of these beings that are all around you on many levels. Remember, you live in a physical level. that allows you to see, hear, smell, touch, and taste in the physical dimension. Then you have a mental dimension, a non-physical dimension, where you have information that can stimulate functions of energy and emotion into the physical dimension. And then there's your awareness, where you can orchestrate, alter, and change the function of ideas and information in your mind to affect the physical dimension in a different way. But as well, on this dimension of awareness, you can look beyond the mind and body, beyond memory and anticipation or expectation, and perceive and connect to and commune with beings that want to assist you and guide you at this stage in your life. That's a really good question. You're very welcome. Someone's saying, Q's grand soul awakening means that all parts of the soul unite consciously, and we don't need an ego. That is correct. The ego becomes jettisoned from the soul. When you fully awaken, you don't need an ego, because you'll be divinely guided at all points of time. So it's a great consideration, Jasmine. Thank you for sharing that. Hi. Thank you for sharing the live. Do our emotions affect earthquakes, or is it man-made? Human emotions on a collective scale are asserting profound influence on the planet. It's why things are becoming more and more unstable, is because humanity on the collective unconscious level is emanating a lot more fear, anger, judgment. As these physical wars start to dial down, you're starting to see the human emotional shift happen now. With the wars coming to conclusion, it's because the emotional energy is going from anger and fear, control, power, and authority, away from that. And yes, our human emotions are affecting geological, astronomical, and astrophysical conditions. Our emotions do not leave the body like a sound wave leaves the body. Emotional energy leaves the body in concentric spheres. So do thought waves. Thought waves leave the body in concentric spheres. And so all 9 billion of us are transmitting emotional qualities at all points in time and space. You are transmitting either love or you are transmitting fear. Those are the two spectrums of emotional energy that are available to humans in this dimension. The vibrational spectrum of fear and the vibrational spectrum of love. The vibrational spectrum of fear at its most extreme end is what you would call physical death and unconsciousness. Physical death and unconsciousness. And then there's the higher spectrum of energy called love, where we have awakening and life and expansion and more growth. Towards the spectrum of love, you get individuals like Jesus and Buddha and Yogananda, many beings that evolve their consciousness to affect this dimension in a very different way. And some of them completely leave this dimension altogether, because it's like you grow, you don't stay stagnant. But yes, to answer your question directly, human collective emotions are influencing and affecting physical time and space. Think about it. You're walking down the street and suddenly you see a beautiful violinist and they're just playing a beautiful song. And you're going, wow, and you're just moved by that song. That's because you're picking up the emotion they're broadcasting through that music. They're broadcasting an energy in the form of music, but that energy constitutes an emotional frequency being brought through into the physical dimension. You find yourself going, oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Or you're walking down the street 20 yards away and suddenly you see two men yelling at each other and they're about to fight, and you're, oh my gosh, now you're feeling a different emotional energy. And every single human being on this planet is transmitting an emotional quality. Doesn't matter how rich or poor you are, doesn't matter what your sex, every living human being is transmitting an emotional quality into this physical dimension. And those emotional qualities influence and affect time, space, and matter in very particular ways. Knowledge and wisdom can come from both fear and love. That is, the function of love generates things that heal and promote and extend and beautify life. The function of fear can be very innovative and destructive in terms of creating wars and death and destruction. But the bottom line to all of this is that each and every one of you is contributing to what is happening in this collective dance of life. Not one of you is exempt. Even that one you would say lying on the street, you would call a useless bum on the street, is affecting the creative consciousness. So he is not useless. He is simply at that particular point of radiating an emotional quality. And each and every one of you are radiating emotional energy into this world. Most of you, unfortunately, are also not doing so consciously. Many of you are doing simply unconsciously and automatically, stimulated into states of fear or anger, or stimulated into fear, into energies of love and playfulness and compassion, not choosing them. What needs to happen in order to sustain, create, and develop a healthy balance is more individuals must become conscious and deliberate about the functions of emotional energy they're exuding into this world. And the functional energy of love will do things very differently with this world than the functional energy of fear. They do very different things, but they're all part and parcel of one and the same thing of creation. But you get to choose one or the other, but you cannot serve them both. You cannot serve two masters. You may choose love or you may serve fear, right? Choose one or the other. But yes, you are all affecting your environment. Every one of you is playing a role. Even the creative function of that is more potent. Your emotional effect on the environment is more powerful than your industry ever will be. Let us say that again. Your emotional energy as you emanate it out from each of you is more influential upon the environment than any of your human industries could ever be. Wow. Thank you for that super chat, Jasmine. Can you clarify why Master Jesus came to me in my meditation with scales of balance in one hand and the right, and a cross in the left, not a crucifix? Yeah, there's two in balance. He's saying to me, for me to tell you, when you achieve the perfect balance between your humanity and your divinity, you will ascend. It will be the metaphorical crucifixion of your ego into the divine awakening of your soul. I like that. That's really cool. Hi, Drew. So good to see you. Can't move today. Well, I hope we'll see you at 4 p.m. in the class. Hi, Bazia. May I have a message about my friend Marius? Yeah, they're showing me it's like you've been hanging a rope down for them to climb up. You have to tell them to climb up. You have to literally tell them to change their thinking, to change what's going on. Tell them. Change the thinking. Yes. Change the thinking. I found it. You have to be calm and clear. Yes, absolutely. You have to be calm and clear. What's the best time to connect to your guides and angels? The best time to connect your guides and angels is three really times I found most profound for me. 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. If you're just starting out, get up at 3 or 4 o'clock because your mind isn't in the way, your memories aren't in the way, you're not getting into expectation, because that's what happens to most people that want to connect to their guides and angels. They get stuck in their mind. They get stuck in looking for physical evidence. They won't always present themselves physically. But 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning is a really good time. Just before going to sleep is a good time. And just shortly after awakening, if you just do your normal sleep cycle, then awakening and going into that and sensing the presence, because your guides and your angels can only connect to you on the level that you're able to receive them. I'm going to repeat that for you. Your guides and your angels, the ascended masters, anybody that's working with you, can only give you information on the level that you're able to receive it. And they tell me that a lot of people aren't receiving it because they misunderstand the signals. Like, a lot of people don't understand these sequential numbers coming up, or how come you get flashes at the corner of your eye, or why you suddenly feel like there's somebody around you, and you don't have the knowledge or experience on how to drop what you know to experience what you do not know. And Buddha says that to me a lot. He says, too many people are trying to know everything, and they need to stop knowing in order to know what they do not know. And I love that. That's such a beautiful consideration. You have to stop knowing what you know to know what you do not know. Isn't that brilliant? I love Buddha. He's great. You have to not know to know what you do not know. Those souls will actually walk up to you and recognize you. You attract what you are. Absolutely, Cami. Absolutely. I can feel someone or something next to me and my mind goes crazy. Okay, when that happens, Sonia, when that happens, just take a deep breath, release the breath, and direct your body to relax. Just direct your body, relax, and let your body know it's perfectly safe at all times. You'll handle it. And then you want to learn to connect your awareness to sense and feel. But also there are low vibrational entities. If you've got a lot of low vibrational emotions, anger, fear, guilt, and shame in you, then you can attract those beings on those frequencies as well. So sometimes your concern is valid, but I would highly recommend just, again, getting the body relaxed, giving your mind permission to be quiet. Like you can actually say to your mind, shh. You can do that. You can literally say to your mind, shh, and get it quiet so then it's not in the way of what you're perceiving, because that's what happens to a lot of people. They get, Master Jesus will show up and suddenly they feel really creepy or something because their mind interprets it on a level that it's at, not the level that you're at. It happens quite a bit. Ascended masters, multidimensional beings, guides, angels will attempt to connect to you, and your brain interprets them and your body interprets them from the level that they're at, because your body is based in instinct, right? So the body bases things on familiarity, what it knows. And if something's unfamiliar to the body, then it gets antsy, saying, what's going on here? And you have to teach your mind and body to be still and quiet so that you can hear, because you can't hear. You're only going to hear through your mind or through the instincts of the body. You need to teach your mind and body to be still and quiet. If you want to learn to do that in less than 3 weeks and be quite good at it and enjoy the peace of your own being emerging from the depth of your mind, sign up for Masterclass 101 Awakening. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out the course and the contents there, and we'll see you in a couple of months. Hi. Carpal tunnel syndrome. I aggravated it somehow. Yes. Again, emotion organizes matter. Emotion organizes matter. What are your dominant emotions, if you can be honest, are responsible for the dominant conditions in your life. Really simple. Your emotions are organizing your experiences. That's what energy is. That's what emotion is. It's pure energy. It orchestrates matter. Emotion organizes matter. It really does. Hi, guys. Thank you for the likes. Got over 11,000 likes on TikTok. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Hi, nice to see you again, too. We're working to stay in gratitude, but some things need to move. Well, gratitude will move things along very quickly if you can amplify it. Remember, you can go into a state of gratitude and you can go into a state of profound gratitude. What's the difference for you? What's the difference for you between a state of gratitude and profound gratitude? Can you conceptualize or conceive of how profound gratitude can be elevated? And what would happen? Bear witness. If you stay connected to an emotion, long enough, it will produce a result in your life. Yes, energy does repel and attract. Thank you for the finger heart. I appreciate that. Cami saying, also states of aggression, greed, desire, and control. Yeah, they can certainly organize things. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I always think of Jesus and Buddha, of non-desire, pain, pure love, wanting to teach and help. Well, that's great, Cami, because that's what they do, but they also they want to inspire others to do that. When you get connected to your soul and you start to experience the nature of what you are as a sentient being, you're going to come from an energy of love. If you connect to your soul, you're going to come from an energy of love. If you're connected to mind and body, you're going to be in polarity, right? But that's really wonderful, Cami. That's because you're drawn to teach. It is time to get started, Cami. Time to start teaching. What are your thoughts on astral traveling? Should I do it or is it bad? Great question. You need to learn to do it, and you need to learn to do it correctly. You know, many Buddhists and monks and other mystics can spend lifetimes learning to astral project and astral travel. It's one of the things we teach and introduce people to in our master classes, the process of astral projection, astral traveling. And that's because you have to teach your mind and body to be still and quiet. You have to literally, you know how you can take if you've got a really nice suit on, you've gone out to a beautiful party, or you've got a nice dress on, and you take it off at the end of the night and you hang it up. You need to do that with your mind and body before you start going into realms of astral traveling, astral projection. You need to get your mind and body quiet, calm, and peaceful, so they're not interfering, or their energy won't interfere with your journey. You as a soul, when you I'll tell you, this happens 99.99% of the time when people come into our master classes. When they go through the meditations that the Ascended Masters guide us through, when you have an Ascended Master take you through a meditation, you literally disconnect from your mind and body, and you move into the essence of your being. It doesn't mean you don't have your mind and body. You're not entrenched in it. And they literally guide us to step out of thought, to step out of matter, to step out of the senses, and into the vibrational state of being, which elevates you from survival, which is what the body's based in, survival energy, fear, pleasure, pain, and the polarity of the mind, and shifts you to the frequency of love. The minute you move into being what you are, not thinking about what you are, not trying to figure it out, but you're literally being what you are, you move into the frequency of love. And they'll teach you on that frequency, and you'll know yourself in a way you've never imagined before. Like you'll experience yourself in a way you never thought you could, just by learning how to get your mind and body still and quiet and peaceful. And again, when you're guided in that process, again, I don't recommend, if you don't have experience with astral traveling or astral projection, I recommend finding a way that you can learn from somebody who has experience in that area. We teach it in our master classes. The Ascended Masters teach through me. And you will learn from your own experience in a safe, practical environment that's going to give you the foundational information and experience to understand what you're experiencing in a proper manner, rather than basing it on what you think you know. So a lot of people think they know things about astral traveling, astral projection, and they don't really, because they've never done it. But yeah, everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. Everybody is a sentient being. Comes into a mind and body. The mind and body can have information in it, and that information will affect your soul until you correct it. Most people, they say, are in their mind and they're in their body so much that they can't discern themselves from the mind and body. So they're caught, oh, this is where I am, this is where I feel. And as long as you can't differentiate your awareness from your mind and body, then you're subjective to your mind and body. And again, you don't want to go astral traveling or astral projecting with any form of fear. You don't want to go exploring these other dimensions in fear, because you will attract what your energy is. And what they teach us is they teach us how to get the body quiet, how to get the mind still, and then how to connect to what you are. When you don't have any thoughts, and you don't have any memories, and you don't have any emotions in your way, you begin to experience the actuality of what you are as a spiritual entity. When you get your mind and your body out of your way, you get to experience the actuality of what you are as a spiritual being. But many of you have to go through the process of learning to do that. Many of you do not understand that you're not your body, that you have a body. Many of you do not understand how to differentiate yourselves from your thoughts. And so you find yourself in confusion, because you do know that there's another part of you than the part of you that suffers. You all know this, but you must learn how to differentiate yourself from the function of mind and body that keeps you enslaved to it. Thank you. Yeah. Well, we all create everything. Yes. Well, carpal tunnel syndrome is a repetitive movement, right? Repetitive injury. Thank you again. Telling me more water. Yeah, I want to stress that. Thank you. Really important. Keep your hydration levels up. Make certain you're giving your body proper amounts of water. And if somebody's telling you your body needs 4 glasses or 8 glasses of water a day, that's an ideal. Pay attention to your body. It will not lie to you. So when you're drinking water, pay attention to how the body feels. It will tell you if it needs more. It will tell you if it needs less. But pay attention to what the body's telling you, not what you've been told to think your body should have or shouldn't have. You are more intimate with your body than anybody else on the planet ever will be or can be. Understand that. Your body, you are more intimate with your body than you'll be with anybody else in the whole world. Nobody can be as intimate with your body as you can because you're living in it. So pay attention. Hydration is so important right now. With all a range of different things that are happening, the elevations in energy, the cosmic emanations that are influencing and affecting the consciousness here on the planet, that are inducing changes in the sun, that are inducing changes in the earth, and then the opposite, where we're transmitting our energy to the sun, to the cosmic center. But yeah, hydration is very important. The rope is for climbing and not for hanging. That's very good. It's very true. Do the guides have any support to give our family at the moment? Yes, absolutely. Who is this? I've got this. There's this being that's just so happy that you've asked for this right now. They're literally moving into the sphere of your energy, your family system's energy. And I want to say the energy is nymph-like. That's the way my brain is interpreting their energy moving towards you, but it's great joyful energy moving towards you and your family. And so in this day, spend time connecting to the joy that's being transmitted to you right now. And tell your family members to do the same thing, that there are beings that you've requested to assist your family at this time. The energy of joy is going to shift the situation that's ongoing right now. The energy of joy that's now that you've asked for, because you've asked for it, is now transmitted. And in the next 24 to 36 hours, you'll see a shift or feel a shift in the family system's energy. Tell them not to fear. Tell them not to have any fear around it. Hi. Hi. I feel the angels appear in your 20s, honestly, or when you're a child. They start right from day one. From the moment of conception, you bring a team with you. You have a team of beings, physical and non-physical, because the non-physical beings can learn from you and your experience. It's kind of like going into a classroom, right? But yeah, from the moment of conception, you have a team with you, and you have a potential with you. During the process of birth, after the gestation period and birth occurs, when you start to accumulate thoughts, ideas, and experiences from this physical dimension, those thoughts, those experiences, and those ideas that you acquire while you're here will affect and influence how you can interface with your team. Because if your vibration is like really high, as they are, when a child is born, their vibration is very high. It's pure love. You're born in a vibrational frequency of love. And that's why children come in completely surrendered. Because in the energy of love, there's no fear, period. Anyway, the process then, what thoughts and emotions and experiences you accumulate will alter and affect who you can or cannot communicate with. But at any time in the process, you could teach yourself, your mind and your body, to reconnect with and commune. Yes, I will, I promise. Sorry, they're just telling me I'm almost done for today. So you really want to understand that process of changing your thoughts and your emotions to be more higher in frequency towards the spectrum of love, so that you get a chance to engage deliberately in your divine team, the ones that work with you in the energy of love. But you can also equally engage in lower vibrational energies. If you get caught up in your fear and your anger, your judgment, your guilt, and your shame, then you will connect to entities and beings that are on the lower spectrum of energy. And each and every one of you can move and shift yourself up and down through that spectrum of energy from fear to love. Many of you do that all the time, not even aware that you're even doing it, but you are. Hi. Thank you. Yes. He's yeah. Your father will be reconnecting with you soon. Your father will be connecting with you very soon, he said. Very soon. Hi. That's why when I lived in Switzerland and I couldn't understand anyone, there was something calming. Yes. When you learn how to shift and direct and organize the function of your body and mind to be still and quiet and peaceful. When you can teach your mind, that's when you as a soul can begin to hear your guides, your angels, the other beings that want to work with you. But if you're caught up in the mind and body, then you're only going to relate to energies on the level of mind and body. So you really want to become mindful of that, but teach it. You'll learn in the masterclass. You'll actually learn how to teach your mind and body to be still and quiet. You'll learn to connect to your guides and angels. You're going to be feeling yourself as you really are, and not just under the microscope and the lens of your personality construct, which most people are every time most people when they look in the bathroom mirror are looking in the mirror through the lens of their personality. Very few people look in the bathroom mirror and see the incredible divinity that lies within you. Imagine that. Imagine being able to go into your bathroom mirror and look and see the beauty of your soul looking back at you through the physical eyes, that you can see yourself in the physical world as the loving sentient being that you came here as. Right? You can learn to do that. It's not a difficult process. Language, yes, this is a great, Cami. That's a great saying. Sometimes language can be a distraction. We had a student, a wonderful student named Carl, beautiful soul, and in one of our classes, I was told to tell him. They told me to tell Carl, take what they were saying to him in English and turn it into his native language, which is Polish. And he did. He said he found that when he turned the language that he was being taught in English into Polish, that the deepening of his spiritual experience was profound. So yes, language, the way in which you hear this, if you're hearing this in English right now, if you convert what you hear in English to the best of your ability into your native language, the energy from the transmission will be far more impactful. Yeah. So language is a real wonderful tool too for evolution. Hi. Oh, you're very welcome, Sonia. I was talking to God and an image appeared, a strong piercing sound in my right ear. Was that God? Yes, you were listening to him. Yes, that is the way. Excuse me. They can only reach you. Your guides, your angels, the various divine entities can only reach you on the level that you are at. In this case, you're on the physical level. And that's the way he let you know that, yes, I am in communion with you. I am with you. I am never away from you. Right? So, yeah, very good. Wonderful job. Good thing to do. Hi. Yes. Yes. Does my guardian angel have a message for me? Please and thank you. Hi, Sonia. Yeah, calm and stillness. They keep saying, would you please tell her to be calm and still more frequently with us? We are always speaking with you, but you cannot hear us through the noise of your, I'll use the term disconcerting noise of your mind. That's how I'm interpreting the word that they're saying. That's the way my brain interprets it. Yes. It's much easier to connect to you and commune with you when you're not so distracted. And we would love to work with you more closely. Surrender the distraction. Be open to hearing, feeling, and knowing our presence with you. Yeah, it's not just one. Can I ask if you are happy now or happier out of your mind? This is a great, the one and only me. This is a great question. If you, yes, I know. So there's a whole bunch of beings jumping in all at once, wanting to talk all at once. Listen, your mind is an instrument through which you play the notes of your consciousness into the experience of your physical life. Your mind is that which you can alter and change deliberately and intelligently, or it is also that which you can allow to be influenced by the world. But when you move to the position when you are deliberately orchestrating and articulating what thoughts you will indulge in, you move into the realm of creation. You move into the realm of deliberately creating. So thoughts in and of themselves are just thoughts. but the emotional characteristics that you can develop from those emotions do indeed influence and affect what happens. You will experience yourself exceedingly well when you bring your mind and your thoughts to stillness. If you bring your mind and thoughts to stillness, you will indeed experience a tremendous surge in goodness at the recognition of your own being, remembering itself as you remember that which you are. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not that body. You are a divine entity. And yes, when you remember that, you will feel beautiful, but you may also teach your mind to be in the image and likeness of what you are. And if you teach your mind curiosity and playfulness, kindness, compassion, excitement, love, patience, if you fill your mind with ideas that represent these conceptions, then you can feel as equally beautiful in the sphere of your mind as you can in the sphere of your divinity. You can essentially make your mind and body a divine instrument. And what beauty and wonder would that be for you to know that your body and your mind are divine instruments that you have fashioned after yourself? Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I like that analogy too. That was really good. My stomach blows up to many foods. Delissa, hi Delissa. Very important. Listen to your bodies. Your bodies can never lie to you. Your body can never lie to you if you're paying attention. And you got bloating and stuff going on, there's some things that you're eating that the body's telling you, pay attention, something's not right. Any ache, any pain in your body it's the body's communication system. The body can only communicate to you on two very basic levels. One is the sensation level of pain or pleasure. Your body communicates to you on that level. And the body can communicate to you in imagery. You can close your eyes and ask your body to show you what foods you're eating that are not good for it. But I got somebody here telling me that you know what you're eating that you shouldn't be eating, that you know that there are things that you are not supposed to eat. You must stop eating them. Tell her about the breatharian. So there are a group of beings on the planet called breatharians that literally live without food. They live off the pranic energy of the breath, which can be found at the peak of the breath and the exhale of the breath. You can access prana and build it in the body, and they live off that. You might want to consider that. Some people are overly sensitized to foods because you're ready to awaken to your divinity, right? There's a science called sun gazing that's very fascinating science. When you mentioned about my stomach started growling. My stomach's telling me I need something right now. So your body will always tell you the truth if you pay attention to it. It can't lie to you. Any message from my son that was tragically killed last week? My heartfelt love towards you and those that are still in this physical dimension. He's not through the trauma yet. Like, he's going through a lot of orientation right now. There's a lot of orientation going on right now. But he's yes. Can you please close your eyes? Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Yes, I will. Just let yourself fill the lungs completely. And when you exhale, let your body relax. Just completely let the body relax as you exhale. And just keep breathing slowly and deeply and allowing the body to relax. And also allowing the thoughts to calm. You can say to your mind, be still, be quiet, be peaceful for a little while. You can give your mind permission to not think for a couple minutes. This will allow the body-mind to settle, which is going to in turn allow you to connect to the energy of your sun right now. So as you let your body relax, keep breathing slowly and deeply, letting the body relax more. Now, sense the space around your body. Just feel the space around your body about 5 feet out. Just feel that. Feel it. Now, think, don't speak, think your son's name. And as you think his name, ask him to come into the space to connect with you. Just ask your son to come into that space of 5 feet around the body and feel how the space alters or changes. I'm getting that he's coming in on your right side. That's what I'm getting. And it might be a mirror of what you're experiencing. You might be having him coming on the left side, but I'm experiencing coming in on the right side. And just let yourself experience what you experience with his presence. Don't let your mind think about it. Don't let your body get active or nervous. Just if the mind tries to engage, just take a deep breath and allow it to relax more, so you can shift from biological and mental energy to the presence of his energy, right? And leave a comment in the comment section about what you're experiencing right now. Let us know, please. Hi. Lots of people sending you love. We have people here that have lost loved ones that have learned to connect to them. I want to speak something on that I've been taught by them, and this is it simply. Here's a glass of water. The water knows that it's water. It knows it's contained in this vessel of water. And it believes it's water. It says, this is what I am. And I say to the water, I'm going to change you. It says, you can't change me. And think of that water as like your son. And we take this water and we put it on a stove. And we heat the water up till it boils. And we let it boil until it boils off and it disappears. Now the water's gone. But the consciousness of the water is not gone. It's changed from one frequency to another. When the physical body ceases to live, when something happens to it and it ceases to function, the soul, the individual, the one you call your son, the one you love, is not in a physical body anymore, but he still exists as an energy. And you can learn to connect to their energy frequency, which means you have to learn to shift your energy from body-mind perception, because most people think this is the only real world. But if you put the mind and body aside, you can sense the presence of your loved ones, because just because they don't have a body doesn't mean they don't exist. So if I've got a radio and I'm playing a station and I change the station, the signal is still there. It's just that we're not tuned into it. And that's what happens when people leave the physical dimension. They leave the reference point for connection, the frequency that we're familiar with, the frequency that you're familiar with your son, is not physical anymore. It's non-physical. So you need to shift your awareness to feel the presence of his signal, his energy, because you won't see him as a physical body. Although many of the beings that come to me, and many people, loved ones, will come with the image of their body. So you'll see them as they were in their body, but they're not physical. You're aware they're present. So yeah, when you leave the physical dimension, you don't leave creation. You're just not in the physical aspect of it anymore. And that's important to understand. People that are dealing with the loss of loved ones need to understand that just because the body's gone doesn't mean that loved one is gone from existence. They're just not in a physical form to transmit on this frequency, but they're still on a frequency that you can learn to tune into, right? You live on a non-physical dimension as a soul, which is where they started this event off today, that you are a soul. You have a mind, you have a body. On the level of soul, you can connect to your guides, your angels, Jesus, Buddha, God, many of the deities. On the level of soul, you can perceive and experience your loved ones on that level. On the level of mind and body, you can't, because they're not physical anymore. But he loves you very, very much. And he's very joyful about the fact that you reached out to him, right? I hope you can feel that joy coming from him. I really hope you can feel that. Did I bring a sinus infection upon myself? Started to stress about a family situation and got sick? Yes. Emotions, as my guardian angel John always says to me, emotions are the fifth state of energy. And they organize everything in this physical dimension. Your emotions are the fifth state of energy. They organize. So whatever emotion you go into will organize a function of behavior in the body. I know when I was a child, I went through a lot of ear infections, ear, nose, and throat infections. And what was happening in my environment? Lots of yelling, lots of screaming, lots of negative energy. And so the body didn't want to hear it. It reacted on the level that it interpreted on. So the body kept getting sick. in order to deal with that emotional energy. The body doesn't lie to you. It can't lie to you. It's telling you there's emotions, there's experiences, there's food, there's something you're exposing it to that it doesn't need, or it does need. It'll never lie to you. But yeah, it's a wonderful thing to know that you have the ability with your emotions to make your body sick. The same is true. You have the capacity to use your emotions to make your body vital and healthy and strong. Like, you can literally do that. We can all do that. We can shift our energy from one state to another, and the body will follow the emotional energy. It's designed that way. It can react and respond to the environment, but you can affect the body with your consciousness, with thought, with image. You can change it. You can restore your body. In the early days when they first started speaking to me and channeling through me, I got a cold one day, what you call a cold, one day. And it was like 15 minutes before I had to teach a class. And so I'm sitting before the camera, my nose is running, like literally running like crazy. I had toilet paper and I was thinking of canceling the class. And Master Jesus came in and said, "No, you're not canceling the class. We will take care of that." The moment the class started, all the symptoms went away, completely gone for the whole duration of the class. I was like, wow, this is amazing, right? Because when they're speaking through me, I'm still awake and aware. I'm just not engaging when they're speaking. Anyway, at the end of that class, all of a sudden, all the symptoms came right back. And then Master Jesus said to me, he said, "Heal yourself. Shift the energy." And I did, right? I got into that state of energy that I felt from them. I remembered it, and I got into the energy of the joy and the freedom I feel when they're with me. In that case, when I felt. And it was pretty amazing to watch then that through my own act of my own emotional will, the body would change. And that was the most graphic demonstration I'd ever experienced. And I've never had a cold since then, because I understood that principle. They taught, and they will teach you too, if you learn to connect them. Yeah. So good. It's good. No, it's good. It's good that you know that. Anything from my daddy or my brothers? Hi, Amy. I'm just getting this glowing yellow circle surrounding you from behind. It's like you're literally in a circle that's surrounding you right now. Yeah, they're all around you. Like, just relax. Feel the presence of their energy around you. They're not in front of you. They're around you, to the sides and around you. They're behind you. Thank you. So I'm telling you, what they're demonstrating to me is that they're all behind you. Go forward. Do not fear. Keep going forward. There's nothing to fear. But they're right behind. This yellow glow is so warm from my experience of it. Wow. Yeah, they're right behind you. Literally right behind you, energetically and spiritually and emotionally. They're right behind you. You're not alone. It's nice when family hangs out like that. Hi. I was thinking about talking to you last night. Happy you're the first face I see when opening TikTok. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Lindsay. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you're ready to move on, if you really want to connect to your guides and you want to shift out of being caught in the human paradigm, sign up for Masterclass 101 Awakening. Let me see. I'll pull it up here, see what the date and times are for you. Anything from my guides? Yeah, we got that. Hi, Amy. I hope you're feeling that energy now. It's a beautiful yellow glow around you. You know how, like, you see in the Greek icons where you see the halo around, like, Jesus and his disciples and all the others, the saints and etc. You see that? That's the kind of yellow it is. It's that type of yellow. It's really beautiful. Okay, here we go. Any message from my pregnancy? Found out yesterday. Termination date is next week. You know, every soul comes to you for the opportunity, especially if you're a woman. A soul does not come to you by random chance. Whether or not you're willing to engage in the energy of of what's happening is up to you. You have a free will. But remember that a divine entity is come to you to say, may I join you in this journey? The choice is yours whether or not you will accept me or not. Your free will is as free as mine. There are others. But I'm sending you much love with regard to that. It's a choice. But there's a divine entity that wants to spend part of its life with you. Yes, I felt him right beside me, beside his service dog. That's beautiful. Wonderful. Do my angels have any message for me, please? Jacqueline, yeah, you need to really let go of that anxiousness. Like you really need to just release that from the body. Like anytime that anxiousness comes up, you need to release it from the body. If you want to go deeper into why that anxiousness is in there, you might want to book a one-on-one reading with me. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, and go deeper into why that anxiousness is there, why they would say that to you. Yeah. So for those of you that are wondering about Masterclass 101, it starts October the 10th and runs through October the 31st. Yeah. Anything from my guides, dad or brother? We got to that. Thank you. Working on releasing. I learned how to do that in your masterclass. So glad to hear that, darling. Oh, you're very welcome, Amy. Blessings to you too. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everybody who came out today. I know people come and people go, and it's a wonderful thing to experience. I'm gonna, yeah. Anything from my dad. Actually, no. It's very silent today, Drusilla. Very good. The energy I'm getting in tuning in is calm and peaceful. Is that it? Calm and peaceful. Calm and peaceful. That's all I'm getting is calm and peaceful. Yeah. It's a contrast to how you remember him, but that's what he's transmitting. Calm and peaceful. We all change when we leave this dimension. I want to wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for your support. Thank you. We're up to 27,000 likes on TikTok. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for tapping the screen, sharing this knowledge with other people. I really appreciate it. Love all you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel at the time. And remember, you are never, ever alone. And there's nothing wrong with you, period. You are a divine entity learning how to use a mind and body in this physical dimension. Remember that. Nothing is wrong with you. You are a beautiful, immortal soul. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I will see you guys on the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Bye for now.